goodness. I'm gonna make this quick video. Yes, folks, I know what time it is. Oh my goodness. So last night I ended up staying up real late for shenanigans. So I'm not very sleepy. I'm starting to get sleepy. So CRISPR and I were contacted earlier today, and Standing for Truth wanted to have discussion with people who evolutionists who know science, and so I was like, I'm busy, have somebody else fucking do it. So I just said, just say I'm a CRISPR, and so CRISPR has shit else to do. So CRISPR went in there with Immutable Destiny, and I said, you know what, I'm bored. Why not? I got done playing Fallout, because I was curious to see what Neff had to say, and oh my god. Look, folks, look, I'll probably just open up a hangout, and CRISPR will definitely be there so we can talk about. Yeah, so Neffy's upset, by the way, folks. So let me start off. Neffy's a little upset because me and CRISPR pretty called his ass out. Like there's no nice way to put that. Like he wanted to bloviate for like 30 minutes about the history of what he thought was Egypt and this, that, and the other. And it's like, that's cool, Neffy. Hey, Neffy, how do we find out what people's haplogroup are? What gets tested specifically, Neffy, since we're talking about this? Mind you, me and CRISPR are joking in the hangout, giving like hints as to what you need to be aiming towards. It's mitochondrial DNA, by the way. As long as they're a surviving female, that haplogroup ain't really going nowhere. But Neffy doesn't understand enough genetics, so he's talking about the alleles being passed on and shit like that. I was like, no, my man, it doesn't work like that. No, no, boo, no, no. So I keep asking him. I know he doesn't understand any of this shit. Like it's bad because look, the dude props himself up, right? Like he knows something. I said, okay, so I'm a check your chin, man. What's going on? And he is upset. So he stands up at the end of the hangout so that he hears his balls click, and so he challenges me and CRISPR to a formal academic debate. And I'm like, look, man, you can't spell formal academic debate, okay? I don't have pants on, by the way. And so I was like, man, look, you honestly don't know enough for me to spend time having a formal academic debate. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like this, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm gonna spend some fucking time debating somebody who can't even tell me how you're gonna argue for an hour about haplogroups and you don't even know how we obtain the information to make the haplogroup. No, man, no, I'm sorry. You didn't do your research. You didn't do enough homework. So, and he got mad. So, oh, these guys are cowards. They're cowards. And so CRISPR said, how about this? I'll have a debate with you. It'll be a text debate. So people can see exactly what's going on and you can fact check stuff. You can see it, right? It'll be on threads. And he didn't want to do that. And I said, okay, you know what, Neffy, how about this? We'll have a live debate. I will fly you out here. I'm sure the Dragoons would love to contribute to the Neffy come on and debate drag fun, and we'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. And he said no. It's so like we start dying laughing because a few seconds ago he was patting himself on the dick because we wouldn't accept his conditions. And it's like, well, look, you won't accept our conditions, which is ain't too crazy. Like I want to see you face to face. Like I'll do it. I spend some time doing that, a day or two, whatever. It'd be fun. I like shit like that. But he's not a coward for not accepting our terms, which weren't ridiculous, but we're a coward for not accepting his. And so we were just laughing at that. Oh, he ends up blocking us. And so we get removed from the and I'm like, man, somebody's upset, folks, but got him. Hey, poor Neffy. When y'all see Neffy, tell him please tell Neffy to please get that sand out of his asshole because he's upset. Somebody, when y'all see him, tell him it's going to be okay. It is going to be all right. Just because me and CRISPR had a good belly laugh at his expense, it will be fine. His life is not over. But oh my God, he is salty right now, folks. Whew, man, he is salty. Man, it's on Standing for Truth channel. If you're in the drag chat, the link's in there. Actually, somebody from the drag chat put the link to Standing for Truth video in the live chat here so people can go. Because man, oh man, Neff is mad, folks. CRISPR, E high five CRISPR. We're just bouncing back and forth between him and this other dude, Superbad. I'm just like, man, I'm sorry. You know, I wasn't taking my time reading creationist literature. I was too busy learning organic chemistry and getting. By the way, I got an A. I got an A minus in my biotech course. So yeah, I'm too busy trying to obtain a fucking certification in biotechnology that'll help my prospects of getting a fucking job in this market, you know, in the future. Oh, I ain't had that in a while. Jeez, it just crashed on me. Get the last word. We're in the Hangouts. Have a tissue. Oh man. Oh man. Poe Evan. Poe Evan. You know what? But I will probably make a separate video just about Neffy for folks who aren't familiar with him. But if there's one thing that I said, and I'll say it again, and if y'all watch Sam the Scientist video, I think he took it down, but I do mention my education just to piss people off. Like it's really not that big of a fucking deal. But when we're having these conversations, though, when this very specific conversation, it is important just to know the basics of what the fuck you're talking about here. Because if you're talking about if we're talking about haplogroups, folks, we're talking about population genetics. Like that, I thought that was an uncontroversial fucking point, but evidently he didn't know what population genetics actually meant. So I was like, okay. And it's just like me and CRISPR sending messages back and forth, just laughing. Like these, we had to spend almost 30 minutes to get these guys to understand that there'll be 4 different variations on any site between 2 individuals, right? You have 2 sets. 2 sets of chromosomes, one for mommy, one for daddy, right? You have 2, I have 2. If there's 2 people, how many you have? 4. We spent almost 30 minutes to get just, and they thought that's like this was some point that was going to kill them. It's like no, it was covering the fucking base, like that's it. Just trying to make the point, but Jesus, like that was the moment where I went, man, these dudes are so far up Jeffrey Tompkins' ass. They skipped, and this is what I talk about, folks. This, if you've not seen the original video, you're not really going to understand. Even if you've seen the video, we do talk a little bit about genetics that people don't understand. But if you don't, that's fine. Ask questions. Please ask questions, folks. If you don't understand what you hear haplotype, mtDNA, you hear something that you don't understand. Hell, I even threw in Kineticore in there because Neffy was name dropping stuff. So I said, you know, I'm gonna throw in. I love Kineticore. You know, while we're mentioning fancy shit. Okay, so by the way, if you hear me ask Neffy the question, how do we test for, you know, how do we determine? I think I phrased it a few different ways. How do we determine someone's haplogroup? We test mitochondrial DNA. Mitochondrial DNA is passed through the egg. Who has eggs? The women. And so CRISPR comes in trying to get Neffy to understand. It's like no, they would literally have to kill all the women, all of them. It's very rare, very seldom do the mitochondria from a sperm actually survive. Like it's very rare. It does happen from what I understand, but it's extremely rare. But that's the exception to the rule. Largely, folks, it's going to be your mtDNA is going to be through maternal lineage. That's that, and you would have to kill literally all the breeding women in order to eliminate that. But Neffy doesn't understand the basics, so he doesn't get where that's good. He doesn't get why when he says certain things, it's just wrong. And we hear it, and it's like, hold on for a second. I know how haplogroups are determined. I know what's tested. I know where this thing comes from when people are made. So the inference is that in order for this not to exist, all the females would have had to die, all the breeding females. Hey, hold on, Neffy. Are you saying all the women die? No, that's not what I'm saying. Well, hold on, but you just said. So the disconnect is that this dude does not have the basics. That you can't, and this is why it's really important, folks. It's really important to understand the basics of something before you try and get into the topic. Because Neffy would not have been laughed at as hard if he would have actually understood why we were making that point and why we were laughing, because he was trying so hard to fight against it, is that he made himself look really bad. But mind you, folks, this is the guy. Neff is one of the main guys that these other CCP members look to as their science guru. And he doesn't, folks, you learned this I learned this years ago in my education. I mean, years ago. Neff's been doing this for a few years, and he's still, like, he can read you off a script, but he can't tell you how they obtain the mitochondrial DNA. Well, why is that important? Well, Neff, if you're saying that this particular haplogroup doesn't exist, that means none of the females survived. Okay? That has to be accounted for. That literally means that all the breeding females did not breed and or die. We need an explanation for that if that is the case. But he denies that happened. So it's like, well, hold on for a second. You can't have it both ways, my man. But it's clear that he didn't realize what he was getting himself into. He didn't realize that when you talk to people who understand a little bit more than the average person about this stuff, that we can pick up on, you don't notice that. But then when I ask you a direct question, you don't want to answer it. But hey, this is the shining star of the CCP. This is the shining star. He got so mad, folks. He got so mad that he ended up blocking me and CRISPR, and we got booted out the room. Man, oh man, oh man. My job here is done. Man, so I implore you all, if you, we'll probably do a review of that video. Man, that video was a fucking abortion. I mean, yeah, it is, some funny bits interspersed with Neffy droning on about something he thinks is relevant. You'll actually, this is on Standing for Truth's channel. Midnight, can you link the video again so people can see it at their leisure? We'll probably do a review of it. I don't know what CRISPR's schedule is like. I'll probably end up doing it next week because I don't want to listen to that abortion again. Sorry, Jim, I know you got triggered when I said that. But Jesus, he is dumb. Yes, Dr. Rich, yes, Neffy. Me and CRISPR just pushed his shit in, and he is mad right now. He is mad. He is mad. And I'm gonna go beat the dragon to that tonight. So on that note, folks, it is I think it's 3 a.m. here. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. here. So whew, man. I had a good laugh. I was about to go grab one of my genetics books. I'm like, oh man, nephew, you sure about that? Isn't he always mad? Yeah, you are right, Doc. Yeah, he is kind of mad. Yeah, he's so when CRISPR said, do you think that this population got taken over by a tribe of Amazons? It's like the fact that he didn't get why that was funny really was the kicker, folks. Really, like that, because I had to mute my mic because because I get the joke for what Neffy's trying to say, and just because the image itself is hilarious, death by snoo snoo. But the fact that he doesn't get why that's funny really highlights the disparity in knowledge between folks. And mind you, I don't have anything special. I don't have anything, I can sit and bloviate about, yeah, I went to college for that, yeah, all day long. But folks, y'all can look this shit up yourself. Y'all can look up mtDNA. Y'all can look up haplogroup. You can see and read a Wikipedia page is more accurate than what Neffy hopes to try and achieve in these conversations. Like, yeah, somebody download that because he did bad. Like, he did real bad because I kept asking him the question. He kept dodging that left, right, and center. Somebody get that video. I'm going to lay my ass down. But, man, CRISPR, high five, man. That was a good show. That was hilarious. Hilarious. So, if y'all see Neff, he might be a little sore. He might be a little mad. He might be a little upset. But, tell him if he wants another ass whooping, he knows where to find me. So there we go.